Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress Video, and I'm doing a VR today. You in tarot, I think, and if that's not exactly right, then it'll be titled correctly. So this is a challenge or slash, it's like a spread VR kind of like it's based on the meme of like how the tarot reader meme that's like how society sees you, how your friends see you, how your family sees you, how you really are, all that stuff. And I'm just going to, get the vibe going, light some incense and also a candle. Okay, so I did this while I was at work earlier. So I've already picked the cards, but the intention is that you pick on purpose what you feel based on the prompts. Intentionally choose those cards. And then you pick at random cards from a different deck to see, like your reality versus, the card's reality, I guess. It was really fun to do and really kind of insightful or revealing. Yeah, anyway. So the first prompt is how society sees me. So I chose the Queen of Wands because I really do kind of like, people that don't know me, I really carry myself with, like, I have like a really stompy walk and I dress kind of pin-up-y, sexy. Not like it's, I don't like have it all figured out or have, I'm making myself sound cooler than I am. But to people that don't like know me and know all of my insecurities and just see me from afar, they seem to think that I'm cool until I open my mouth, right? But so this is the how society sees me. And then the next prompt is, so that's the one that I picked intentionally. Do I want to do that versus, yeah, let's just go on each one together. And then the one that I pulled randomly was the Six of Pentacles. This makes me really, really happy, actually. Like, first of all, I think that this chick is super cute. And I actually, like, my hair kind of looks like, it's not green, but it kind of has a similar length and texture. So every time I look at this card, I'm like, man, I need some moss green hair, but I don't have what it takes. I have the courage to have moss green hair, but I don't have the funds to make it happen professionally, nor the patience to do it for myself. But this makes me really happy because I am a public servant. And when I think of like how society sees me, I'm mostly thinking of how my community sees me. People that don't really know me. But if this is how my community sees me, as someone that is helpful to them, and how perfect is, like, I don't know, I've never really thought of the Six of Pentacles in like a community service kind of way before, but that totally makes sense. Like, hopefully people do see me as a kind public servant, because I work at a public library. And yeah, I would really love to embody this energy. This is a really sweet Six of Pentacles card. It's not all gross and hierarchical like the one in the RWS is. So this is one of my favorite cards in this deck, actually. Then the next prompt is how my family sees me. I think that my family is relatively small. Like it's my grandparents, my mom, my sister lives here right now, but she is moving pretty soon, and my aunt lives in town. But my grandma had two daughters, my mom and my aunt. And then my mom had two daughters, me and my sister. And we don't really, like, that's pretty much the whole family. It's just that and our significant others, those of us that have them. So most of my family is older, older than me. Like, I'm 39, but like most of my family is, older. Like, we don't have a ton of kids in the family. My sister has two kids, but one of them she doesn't have custody of, and the other one is a teenager and he's hardly ever around because he doesn't want to be around, So the way that I conceptualize this is most of my family sees me as a little girl still. And because of my autism, I present as younger than I really am. So this is what I chose. I chose 2 pages. Page of Cups, because I think like people like my mom and my grandma see me as kind of, I think, emotionally unrefined, emotionally stunted, perhaps. And I picked Page of Swords, even though this particular Page of Swords looks a little bit more badass than I think my family sees me. But I picked Page of Swords because that was a persona that I embodied. You know what? I should have picked Page of Wands for this, maybe. I think that more accurately describes, but we'll stick to the Page of Cups here, just because my family sees me as still a little girl. In some far as to, like, this particular tag can get really psychological real fast. But I'm pretty comfortable sharing that shit with you guys. But it's reminding me of a story. When I was a young goth girl, my grandparents used to, whenever I was a kid, they would take my school picture every single year and they would put it up at the family business that they used to have. Just like frame it and put it on the wall, and like every year it would change to my new picture. So like, all of their customers that they were close with, because it was a sweet family business, could see their grandkids growing up, And whenever I became a goth girl and started wearing like black lipstick and eyeliner in my school photos, my grandma just stopped changing the photo. She was like ashamed of me, and she didn't want to have to explain why I look like a freak, growing up in the Midwest. And she has no idea how much this hurt me, but I think that this is kind of why I think that this is the way my family perceive that they see me this way, because of something like that, where I literally had arrested development in the fact that they no longer would update my picture, And that's just one of those like deep-seated like things. And anyway, so this is how I think my family sees me. And then this is how they really see me. 10 of Ghosts. So that's kind of sweet. Like, they actually do see me as a full member of the family. I've always felt like a misfit. And right now, my eye is kind of drawn to this like weird little cat creature. Cat skirt girl. Even though I don't look like them, even though I don't you know, I am kind of at odds with a lot of my family members. They still see me as a full part of the family and they love me. That's what this says to me. So that's kind of sweet. The next prompt is how my friends see me. I picked 2 cards for this because it depends on the friend and it depends on the moment. Like, either I'm kind of like clammed up and thinking too hard, which is 2 of Swords, which is not normally how I see the 2 of Swords, but in this context, and particularly with this image, I think it makes sense. So either I'm kind of in hyper Libra, indecisive, thinking too much mode, or I'm like party girl. It depends on the friend, it depends on the time, but I'm one of those 2 things, I think, usually. That's how I assume my friends see me. And how they really see me is the Empress. That's interesting. I don't really know what kind of insight I have to that, except that maybe they see me as more creative than I think they do, or they see me as more capable than because I guess I have sort of a low opinion on my image. Like, once people get to know me, I feel like they see the real me, and the real me is not very cool. Like, they might think I'm cool, but then they get to know me, you know. So that's just, this is a really revealing spread for me. I don't know. I'm really loving it. Thank you to the, I think she's Dutch. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but thank you to the person that created this tag, because it's reading me for filth, honestly. It's kind of making me see that maybe I am too hard on myself, or I have a negative self-image or something, and I don't think I realized that. Anyway, I'm gonna try not to make this video super fucking long, but of course you can see how long it is. The 4th prompt is how I want to be seen. So I want to be seen as this sort of like has it all together, created her own reality, kind of like cool chick in her garden, you know? But I also want to be seen as a high priestess. And I picked this next card just because I don't want to be seen necessarily as a Queen of Pentacles, but I just generally want to look like Poison Ivy. I want to project Poison Ivy onto the world. So I just picked this card just because of how it looks in the Darkwood Tarot. So that's how I want to be seen. Mostly 9 of Pentacles is, let's put that one on top, because that's the one that, like, both the card, I think that's the one that most embodies what I want, how I want people to see me. And then I don't know how, like, you interpret this, how I want to be seen, maybe how I'm actually seen as the Hermit. I like this though. My favorite number is 9. And if people do see me as a hermit, I think that's, you know, that has a light side and a dark side, right? Like, that means people think I'm smart, but it might also mean that people think I'm antisocial to a certain degree, which, you know, they wouldn't necessarily be wrong. I'm just like so in love with Halloween Tarot this particular season. I've had this deck for like almost 3 years, I think, and I just have like the little 10-sized version, but I just now today ordered the full size, because lately I keep the smaller size in my purse, and lately I've been just really wanting bigger images, and so I don't know if I'm gonna keep both, but anyway, it doesn't matter. That's not what we're here for. Okay, and then the final prompt is who I actually am. So I picked 3 of Swords for who I actually am, because I'm constantly creating boundaries. I'm constantly keeping people at a distance. And this is also like kind of Kali energy, plus this is my minor arcana card, one of my birth cards. And I don't really, actually, I'm just going to kind of keep some of this to myself, but I feel like this is who I am. Not that I'm a heartbreaker or anything. Like, I don't want that interpretation. That's not how I'm thinking of it. But people that want to get close to me, I usually don't let them in. It's that Fiona Apple song, Left Alone. How can I ask anyone to love me when all I do is beg to be left alone? So that's who I actually am, according to me. And then 2 cards came out for who I actually am. Who I really actually am. Magician and King of Wands. So that's interesting. Like, I see myself as someone that is very reversed magician. You know, like I'm very bumbling and clumsy, and I don't see myself as, you know, sort of the witchy energy of the magician and having it together, and I don't see myself as like charismatic like the King of Wands. So this is kind of, this particular reading is just kind of, it's a confidence booster for me, because it's really like, I don't know, it's making me feel like I actually have more worth than I thought I did, and I didn't even necessarily realize that I thought that I didn't, you know. Anyway, so highly recommend doing this particular, of course I'd love to see it as a VR from you guys, but I would definitely recommend, if you don't feel like interpreting these cards quite so personally as I just did, I would recommend doing this spread for yourself, because it's really kind of revealing. I enjoyed it a lot. And I want to do more. It's funny, I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna see you guys again, and that was like 48 hours ago. But today Meg showed me this video, and she was like, I want you to do a VR, and I'm like, oh yes, I need to do it immediately. But I think I want to focus on stuff like this more often. Stuff like, you know, actually doing spreads and interpreting them, and like talking about what they might mean and things like that. Yeah, this is good shit for sure. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna shut up now. Okay,